How long will you mourn for Saul? 1 Samuel 16:1, the Lord said to Samuel, how long will you mourn for Saul, since I have rejected him as king over Israel? Fill your horn with oil and be on your way. I'm sending you to Jesse of Bethlehem. I've chosen one of his sons to be the king. For I have provided myself a king among his sons. Do you have regrets that someone you love did not do what he or she is supposed to do, resulting failures in their future? Today we are looking into three things. First, do not dwell on your past. Second is, fill the horn with oil. And three, receive new mission from God. We see here unfolding before us when the Lord show, I will show you what to do. 1 Samuel 16:3. We need to move from our comfort zone to faith zone. First, many of you, like Samuel, are still mourning over something in your life which may well be gone forever, whether it's missed opportunity or loss of a significant relationship, or disappointment for your loved one who drifted apart. It's time for you to stop dwelling on your past and face the promise of your future. Saul was dear to Samuel. Samuel was the one who anointed him with oil to be the first king of Israel. He was the kingmaker, and Saul honored Samuel. Samuel was the one who always encouraged Saul and watched as the boy moved from a nobody out of the Benjamin tribe to a deliverer of God's people from the hand of the Philistine. 1 Samuel 9:15. Samuel said about Saul that he was the desire of Israel. You look here at how Samuel loved Saul so much. Samuel said in 1 Samuel 10:1, when he saw that Saul has drifted apart, he said, has not the Lord anointed you leader over his inheritance? So it is, do you see the man the Lord has chosen? Samuel was appointed as king, but there was no exemption for a king. A king had to follow the Lord. A king had to pass obedience test too. The test that Saul has to do is in 1 Samuel 10:8, but you must wait 7 days until I come to you and tell you what you are to do. So this was the test. Samuel said to Saul, you have to wait for 7 days. You know that Samuel confirmed Saul as king at Gilgal. The Gilgal has a special meaning. When he was 30, Gilgal was the first city after wilderness, the place where manna stopped, and for the first time they ate produce from the land. Under the threat of the enemy, however, Saul disobeyed Samuel. It was tragic. For Samuel 13:10, Saul replied to Samuel, when I saw that the men were scattering and you did not come. So he blamed Samuel for not coming earlier. When I saw that men were scattering and you did not come at the set time, I felt compelled to offer the burnt offering. That's the excuse Saul said to Samuel. You know that in Israel, king can do like the executive to govern the government, to fight the enemies. But a king shall not and will not and should not sacrifice burnt offering. That's the the ministry of a prophet, of a priest. 1 Samuel 13:13, Samuel said to Saul, "You acted foolishly," Samuel said. "You have not kept the command the Lord your God gave you. If you had, he would have established your kingdom over Israel for a long time. But now your kingdom will not endure." The judgment has been set into Saul's life. "The Lord has sought out a man after his own heart and appointed him leader of his people, because you have not kept the Lord's command." So Saul, from a nobody, becomes somebody, and then becomes irrelevant. So the verse disobedience was when Saul was instructed to destroy the Amalekites. One day, Saul has to go on a fight, a war, and then he carries a mission pronounced by Samuel to annihilate Agag and the Amalekites. But Saul and the army spared Agag and the best of the sheep and cattle and fat calves and lambs, everything that was good. So this is the biggest transgression in Saul's life. 1 Samuel 15:10. Then the word of the Lord came to Samuel. "I am grieved that I have made Saul king, because he has turned away from me and has not carried out my instructions." Samuel was troubled, and he cried out to the Lord all that night. You see that Samuel loved Saul very, very much. Samuel saw that kid went up from a nobody, become the king of Israel, and now involved in this sin. Samuel was troubled, and he cried out to the Lord all that night. Early in the morning, Samuel got up and went to meet Saul. But he was told, "Saul has gone to Carmel." He was very, very disappointed. There he has set up a monument in his honor and has turned and gone on down to Gilgal. So the human weakness, when reaching to power, you start believing on your own clipping. 1 Samuel 15:13. When Samuel reached him, Saul said, "The Lord bless you. I've carried out the Lord's instructions." But Samuel said, "What then is this bleating of sheep in my ears? What is that lowing of cattle that I hear?" So even Saul was trying to hide all the animals, all the fat calves. But Samuel, of course, knows about that. So Samuel confronted Saul. Saul answered, "The soldiers brought them from the Amalekites. They spared the best of the sheep and cattle to sacrifice to the Lord your God. But we totally destroyed the rest." Does that sound like us when we give excuses? 1 Samuel 15:16. "Stop," Samuel said to Saul with grief. "Let me tell you what the Lord said to me last night." "Tell me," Saul replied. Samuel said, "Although you were once small in your own eyes, did you not become the head of the tribes of Israel? The Lord anointed you king over Israel, and he sent you on a mission saying, 'Go and completely destroy those wicked people, the Amalekites. Make war on them until you have wiped them out.' Why did you not obey the Lord? Why did you pounce on the plunder and do evil in the eyes of the Lord?" Saul said, "I did not obey the Lord. I went on a mission the Lord assigned to me.